And hey, congratulations on your episode for SideQuest.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I saw this episode. I think it's one of the best episodes out of SideQuest because I was laughing so much about with your guys' chemistry and camaraderie. But we have to ask that obligatory question: what initially drew you that you wanted to be part of this episode for SideQuest? Who wants to start?
I needed a job. No, no, when I read the script, I felt like, it just reminded me of a place that I grew up, kind of an area. Well, I told the story playing pinball. I'm an old guy, so pinball machines, were part of my world, my world like this. And it just reminded me of that. And just to work with these actors, and then the director and everybody involved were just so kind and just so committed to this that I just said, okay, I really want to be a part of it.
Yeah, when I was offered Janae, they had sent me a few episodes of Mythic Quest, just to see if I also agreed that I'd be a good fit. And I fell in love with the world that they had created, like the dynamic between characters, what these producers are interested in, the stories, the aspects of these relationships that they're interested in fleshing out. And so reading the script, it was like, wow, like this is what everyone is talking about that they need right now, which is third space. We're talking about how our internet communities are bustling, but the actual physical places don't exist or they're completely empty. So I thought this was a great episode because it was kind of a blueprint for how to get back to a space where we can all actually gather and have a good time together.
Bria?
Yeah. I think the same. When I, got the audition, I just was like, oh, she's fun. Like, this is gonna be fun to play. And that like reading the episode, it was like, yeah, I feel like as actors, when you get scripts or get offers or you read a breakdown, it has to feel like a passing of the baton. So it's like, okay, whatever they've created, can I take the baton and like keep going? And like this was the type of project I was like, absolutely. I feel like I know her. Let's go. And so it was an easy yes to be a part of it, and very fun. Very fun.
And I found this episode wonderful is because in the world of like geek storytelling, we often see, the perspectives of, of white people in this case. And this episode portrays something that is needed more in this country. It's not just telling about a black story, but it was also highlighting minority-owned businesses. And I mean, can you folks comment about something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think what makes a pull list such a unique experience is that this is a niche experience of the comic book world, but it's Black folks, but it's how we love that's different, like how we engage as fans that is so interesting and so unique. And so for Janae to be able to facilitate a place, a space for that kind of debate and, going over like, why we love these people and how they fit in our world emotionally, but also collectively was really cool. However, the reason we don't have a lot of third spaces is because running a physical business where the whole point is really for people to gather, it's hard to make money that way and it's hard to sustain your business. So I love what Stan gets to when at the end of our episode where he highlights like the responsibility of the patron. Like, I know the customer is always right, but in these spaces, we have to have a different politic for how we engage with each other. Even as the customer, you have a responsibility.
Yeah,
That that yeah, go ahead.
I grew up in a neighborhood where there were Black entrepreneurs everywhere, but this particular store reminded me of the Black record shop when I grew up. We'd be in the record shop going through records, and it might be 10 of us. Oh, look, I found this James Brown or this, whatever, I'm old, so I've got old references. And it kind of reminded me of that. I was trying to think of what in the community growing up, something like I said, I played pinball in the shop up the street where we gathered around, but it was a combination, and that's all I knew growing up were black store owners, black, doctors, lawyers, that type of thing in the area I grew up in. But so that wasn't unusual. But what was unusual for me, because once again, he's an old man, is the geeky comic book aspects of it. Especially I don't know a lot of these new comic characters, because I still think the Superman is the best superhero of all time.
Never gonna let it go.
I mean, come on.
Stan, I'm gonna give it to you. I only said Roku because the people it made me feel like they wanted me to. So I just said it. But you're right, Stan. You're right. It's Superman.
It's Superman.
Well, and one last thing is how geeky are you in real life? It seems like William here knows a lot about Superman, and Shalita knows a lot about Roku. So there is some geekiness in your real lives.
Oh yeah. I read every DC comic ever growing up, and Marvel came along later, so I knew a lot of these. I've probably forgotten more Marvel heroes than some people know. There are a lot of them that haven't been out there yet, but yeah, it's just a part of growing up, part of my life anyway.
Yeah. I feel like when I was younger, I was a band geek.
Yeah.
I feel like now I'm a hair nerd. I love hair. I love everything that has to do with hair. And then in college, I was definitely a theater nerd as well. So I've had different seasons and phases of what type of nerd I am.
Yeah, I was definitely nerdy. Like I was for the books, okay? My nose may have been a little brown even from all the sucking up I was doing, all the brown nosing I was doing. But yeah, I became a theater geek. But now, I mean, a girl loves a good prep. Like it doesn't matter what I'm doing. I live in Mexico primarily now. So, every day is an adventure. Every day is you got to prepare. And I love that part. I love the process and being the planner. That's my like nerd out.
Regardless go ahead.
Became a theater geek later in life. I was too shy in high school and in college to be a part of the theater groups there. I thought that they were so good, so great, so it wasn't until later that I knew that I wanted to be an actor, but it wasn't until later that I became really geeky about it. That's all I ever wanted to do. If you're not a part of this community, I don't need to be with you or around you. I need to be around people that are like-minded and want to do the same thing. So that's my geekiness.
We're all proud of that. All three of you are part of this community. Thank you very much for carrying this conversation. I love this episode, especially trying to figure out to see if William actually knows how to play Magic the Gathering. I mean, that's the best. So
when I see you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, right. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye now.
Take care. Bye-bye.